y'all. Thanks for coming back. Thank you guys for being here. This is our last video for the night. Thank you, Jesus, because I need some rest. I'm tired as hell, y'all. But I gotta get out here and get this video out because I know y'all will be looking for me. So, and I hate canceling. So let's get into it, right? Everything said in the video is alleged and in my opinion and is used for fair use and entertainment. I hope you guys are checking out the videos on Rails World as well. Trying to upload some things over there to I guess switch back and forth. So check out Rails World and of course over here at the Kim and Rail Show. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it. We only have a few topics. Quick little pop in, and then I'm gonna let you guys go. All right, so first topic, Porsha Williams did an interview, honey. She's still trying to convince the people that she has a long-standing relationship or a long-lasting relationship. All right. So Porsha Williams opens up on her new relationship with girlfriend Patrice Sway McKinney at the A Year in the Time event. Okay, so she's out promoting, of course, the show, and she's also promoting this girlfriend, which is her storyline for this season as well. So let's get into what Porsha had to say. Shout out to People Magazine.
Well, I've been in reality TV for 10 plus years. Okay. But yes, this was definitely different for obvious reasons. And I just wanted to continue to live in my truth. I didn't want to hide any parts of me. I felt like if I did hide it and it had to be caught somewhere, it just wouldn't feel authentic. So for me, I want to live in my truth. And so in doing that, I have found someone who I really enjoy getting to know, and it's been great. Well, I've been in reality.
She's so Porsha is so media trained. When I tell you it's given like almost every interview. I think we saw an interview a few days ago where she kind of almost said the same thing, just kind of switching the words up slightly, but she is definitely promoting this relationship. And of course she has to, because like I said, she don't have anything else going on this season to where it's going to be a wow factor. A lot of people are expecting Porsha because they brought her back with the understanding that she was going to help push the ratings and have the wow factor for the season. But Simon came in and threw a whole monkey wrench in the plans and said, hey, you can't talk about me. You can't film this. You can't film in the house. You can't do this. Da, da, da. So now she's totally pivoted after she and Simon have gotten divorced. And she has decided that she's going to promote this this girlfriend that she's running around saying that she has. I think it was very shocking for everybody. And I think that's what Porsha was looking for this season, being that they for the last season, they pretty much told her, girl, you came back and you didn't give a shit. Like it was a huge letdown. So she was like, well, what can I do in order to make everybody think, oh my God, Porsha has redeemed herself and she's giving us the shock factor that we were waiting for. Well, she came out to say she's dating a female when I'm saying in past interviews that I've seen where she pretty much talked against women being with women. So it's weird to me, and a person can date whoever they choose to date, but it just seems that it's more for television than reality in my eyes. Okay, but you guys y'all sound off on that in terms of what y'all think. Let's move along. I'm not convinced is all I'm saying. But shout out to Porsha. Moving right along. Krishan Rock is fuming over Blueface doing a recent interview himself, calling his baby mamas mid, meaning they are not he don't see them as top tier. Okay, y'all know he has Jada and Alexis as his children's mother, and also Krishan allegedly. I still think Ronnie is the father of Krishan's son, but I feel like that's why she got him out of the way, because she did not want him at the time to be the father because she was fixated on Blueface. And I feel like, hey, if Ronnie was the father, I feel like he could have been there. And if you chose to be with Blueface, and that's what it was, but she wanted to have a family with Blueface and she wanted to be with him. So it was this whole, well, you have to be the father. Krishan still, even though she's in her 20s, almost 30s, Krishan still has a childlike mind. And I don't think she understands how things work because she didn't have a stable childhood growing up as well. So I feel like maybe she was looking to maybe give that to her son, but her mentality just does not fit what she's trying to do. And I don't feel like a person should be permanently moved out of the way so that you can live out your fantasy while your child's real father, who I believe is Ronnie, is no longer around to be something that he very much so vocalized that he wanted to be, which was the child's father. And that's very rare this day and age, especially with young guys. They want to be able to live their lives, turn up, go party, and not have the responsibility of child support and everything that comes with having a child at a young age. I mean, he could have said, "Hey, that's not my child. I don't think that's my child," and keep every dime that he ever made and spend it on himself. But he was very adamant about proving that this child was his, and Krishan was very adamant about trying to push the narrative of Blueface being the child's father. But let's get into Blueface because he is just really talking down on Krishan. She felt a way about it because she wants to be back with him. I did see another interview where Blueface was saying that she recently reached out to him and was saying she wanted to reconcile with him. She wanted to be back with him. Like, this is stupid. We have a child. That kind of conversation. And he turned her down and said no, because of the way she threatened to have him arrested again and have his parole or whatever revoked because he didn't want to be with her. So she was going to make up something, make up a lie to have him arrested again to get back at him. So he said he would never pretty much fuck with her again because of that, because she threatened his freedom. And I get that. Like, you cannot play with somebody like that. Like, this man literally just came home. So for you to make up something and try to say that he violated or maybe put hands on you if he didn't, something like that, because girls will do that because they can't have something that they want. So imagine wanting somebody so bad that you would lie to have them locked up because they don't want you anymore. And it's bothering her to see him with other women because in her mind, she was like, oh my God, Blueface is coming home. We're going to be back together. And it didn't work out that way. And it's killing her inside. So let's get into what he had to say. Let me share. I'm sorry. Yeah, she is very bothered. She is very, very bothered that he is choosing everyone except her. I mean, she already said she want to see his grave. Her and her son going to see his grave, and she wants to see him unalived. And I was just like, girl, that's a lot. But let's get into
If y'all seen the before and after photos, you could tell that the life was sucked out of us in a relationship that we didn't have discipline or control over. You know what I'm saying? When life comes, life is lessons. So, that was our lesson and ain't nothing mid over here. You're who you are today because of the woman that had to sacrifice their life, their energy. And it's crazy how you're putting down the women that take care of your kids. At the end of the day, we all have to answer to God. If y'all seen the before and after photos, you could tell that the life was sucked out of us in a relationship that we didn't have discipline or control over.
So you put yourself in a situation where you did not have control over yourself or whatever you wanted to do. You allowed a man to control every single solitary thing about you, your comings, your goings, your money, your survival, your body. I feel like there's a lot of times Krishan probably couldn't tell Blueface no because he had that much control over her and he was seeing her plus several other girls, and she stayed right there and she accepted being treated like shit and even having her tooth knocked out and so many other things that she went through being with Blueface. I'm not sure why she wants to go back to that toxicity, but it's so crazy. Again, it goes back to her childhood and what's the word I'm looking for? Inconsistencies in her childhood and her family. Y'all know her mother has been on drugs for a very long time. They're saying she still is on drugs. So she didn't really have a stable lifestyle. She didn't have stability growing up in terms of rumors about being touched by her sister and some other things going on. It's just been a lot with this girl. I look at old pictures of Krishan when she used to be very athletic, when she kept her body up. She was very beautiful. Now she looks like a wayward soul, just walking around, just doing anything. And she's finding herself in situations that she should not be in. And every time it's time for her to be held accountable, she starts this God stuff. And there's nothing wrong with her talking about God, but I feel like that's a cushion for her. That's a safe space for her. And that's what she chooses to hide behind when it's time for her to have accountability. One minute she's, and several boyfriends have said that about her, that she's very evil. But whenever it's time for her to be held accountable, she starts this God and she's a Christian, she's saved. And, she starts that. And I just feel like, what is wrong with her? Like, what is wrong with her? But you guys can sound off on that. She really needs some deep therapy. Okay. All right, moving along. Rayface. You guys remember Rayface? We talked about him. Rayface is the guy that Bambi started dating after she and Scrappy wound up getting divorced. I felt like, and a lot of people were saying that the relationship between Rayface and Bambi was strictly for more so clout driven, that he had a whole girlfriend and a whole situation, but he was using Bambi in order to secure a spot and some clout on Love and Hip Hop because that was his way in the door. He's always wanted to be on reality TV, and with Bambi and Scrappy no longer being together, she was seeking someone, a new relationship and someone to also have a storyline with. So she started seeing Rayface. He just slid right on in there and played his role in order to get the clout that he needed. Well, now he's talking junk about Bambi and Scrappy because they're seen out at the Brandy and Monica concert. He's airing Scrappy out as well. So let's go ahead and get into it. So shout out to the Neighborhood Talk. Rayface threatens to expose Bambi, saying that she's out here giving head, child, after her going to a concert with Scrappy. So it's given that he might feel a little way that he's seeing them together. A lot of people saying maybe they're trying to rekindle something. I hope not, because that shit is so toxic. Just co-parent and keep it moving. And okay. So let's see. Rayface says, he said, okay, play with me, and I'm have your, hold on. He said, okay, play with me, and I'm have your good DICK sucking ass on Shade Room with this big DICK in your mouth. So he's threatening revenge P on Bambi is what it's giving. So he's saying that he has some pictures of Bambi in a compromising position, maybe on her knees or something, with a schlong in her mouth. And he's probably is. And he's saying, hey, keep playing with me and I'm going to release these pictures. I don't think he knows that that is definitely a crime to release revenge P on someone or threaten to do so. Look at Martell Hope. Went to jail behind that shit. They are cracking down on people using that as a revenge method to make people do what they want or to quiet a person. Martell was using it to try to quiet Melody. Say, hey, say one more thing about me and I'm going to put this picture out here. I'm going to put da-da-da-da-da out there between me and you. And it looks like Rayface is doing the same thing to Bambi. If she had any sense about her, she would definitely go and file something to say, hey, this person right here, I had a relationship with him and he's threatening to release explicit pictures on me and I need to stop and or maybe charges pressed, because you cannot do that. This is on a whole social media platform where he's threatening to release pictures of her. So he says, she says, go ahead. I swear I want you to. That's what you don't tell a person. He says, want to threaten and talk ish to me. But when I clap back, she screams police. Okay. Shaking my head. So it looked like he's trying to bully her into doing what he wants or to use said pictures as, leverage maybe over her. So let's continue. So Rayface, this is his page here. He says the Scrap is 45 years old with no car. Well, he's been not having a car. I told you guys when he first got on Love and Hip Hop, he didn't even have a place to stay, that he used Shay from Love and Hip Hop as well in order to get him an apartment. And he was driving a car that she leased for him for the season to make him not look like a bum ass nigga on the show. He didn't have anything. He didn't have nowhere to stay, nothing. Stevie J was the same way. Stevie J was walking everywhere he went on the show. Like, I don't know why a lot of people don't understand it. Just because you see a person on TV does not mean that they're rich and have all of these things. And a lot of times when you do see them driving cars, most of the time they're rented for the show. Most of the time, the network will rent them a show or rent them a house so that they can have a place to film. So Scrappy is, like you said, 45 years old. It's weird to me that he's touring and that he's been on Love and Hip Hop all these years and he don't have a car. He don't really have a permanent place to stay. Like, you still renting and you've been on Love and Hip Hop for well over 10 years. That shit is wild to me. Like, what are you doing with your money? Now, I don't know how much VH1 pay. I know they don't pay like Bravo, but still, like, what are you doing with your money? And you probably want to stop having kids, because with every child comes child support. So if you're barely taking care of yourself and you're barely able to pay your rent, adding another child is not going to help your finances at all. So I don't think that a 45-year-old man should be walking around literally without a fucking car. Like, you have children. How are you picking your kids up in order to co-parent with whoever you're co-parenting with? Because how many baby mamas do you have? 3, 4? Like, it's wild, right? So 45-year-olds with no car, that's wild work. So Rayface also goes on to say, in that 2015 Cadillac Escalade that Bam has in a CPN is on its last leg, meaning she's driving around in a raggedy ass Escalade. Okay, but she's showing on her Instagram shit that she has a G-Wagon. So I don't know. A lot of people, like I said, do be capping for the gram and for other social media platforms to make people think that they're out here riding around and getting it when they ain't really getting shit. All right, but blasted for being fake. So here's Bambi and Scrappy at the concert. And I feel like once Bambi went live and showed the two of them at the concert, it kind of struck something in Rayface, because maybe Bambi could be playing Scrappy behind the scenes and still seeing Rayface. You know, sometimes people will double dip, and maybe he's in his feelings like, okay, you were just with me the other night and having sessions with me, and now your ass is at the concert with Scrappy, so now I'm about to air you out. Moist ass niggas do act like that sometimes when they get in their feelings, but let's get into it. He says, guess who? I mean, we already saw this, right? So I don't know who this is zooming in. It could be him, like at the concert as well, and he saw them and he's feeling the way like, look at these niggas at the concert when you were just calling me and trying to be with me. So Bambi, she's look like she's vibing out, she's singing along. Scrappy, he's standing up, he's kind of feeling the vibe and whatnot. So he's there, look like they're on a little date, or rather, at the concert. They've been hanging out a lot lately, as I told you guys. They've been seen with their kids. I told you guys at WrestleMania a couple months ago. And at another event, I saw Bambi and Scrappy with their kids as well. So I'm happy that they're able to co-parent. But to be honest, I hope they're not trying to be back in a relationship, because that shit is mad toxic. Any man that move out and leave me with the rent to pay by myself with all my kids, bitch, you can never come back. I'm sorry. Like, Bambi and Scrappy were married, and she got put out because he did not pay his part of the rent. And I keep saying, and I will always say, like, what part of the game is that? Like, if you are the husband, bitch, pay the rent. Let her pay the utilities. Like, why are you guys splitting rent like roommates? That makes absolutely no sense. But moving right along, okay? The toxicity, honey. How you let your kids and your baby mama be put out because you ain't got your part of the rent? Like, bum, okay? That's on bum behavior. But Tokyo Tony, child, came out of her bat cave in order to try to check 50 Cent. And I'm like, girl, you might want to shut up too, for he had a damn documentary on your ass from when you were back in your stripper days and probably some other damn days. But she says, dear 50 Cent, aka 25 Cent. So now she's trying to read 50 Cent. Y'all know 50 Cent is a clapbacker, so he's probably going to respond to this as he's done with Ja Rule. Okay, I showed you guys earlier that he has now said that come May 2026, he has a new documentary that he will be featuring that will be about Ja Rule, that will be coming out on Netflix. Okay, so Ja Rule's been calling him out, putting up court orders and lawsuits and stuff about 50 Cent trying to cap for Diddy, and this whole documentary saying, hey, you out here snitching on Diddy, da 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 da. That had nothing to do with you, Ja Rule. Now you got your ass in a situation where you about to be exposed. All right. Yeah. So now Tokyo Tony says that 50 Cent is a man eater and reveals that she previously spoke to his estranged son, okay, who 50 Cent has no relationship with, who looks just like 50 Cent, okay, and offers him help. See, you're inserting yourself where you should not be. Thank you for helping him, but it gives that you have more so of a personal motive than anything, because you don't like 50 Cent. So now it's let me get close to his son and run to social media to talk about it. So it said that he humiliates men and degrades women, and so do you. So let's get into it though. The way you talk to your daughter is degrading, but let's get into it.
Let's give his flaws. He's a man eater. He loves to eat up men. He loves to humiliate.
Not eat up men.
He loves to humiliate men. He can come for me and do whatever he needs to do. Humiliate men and degrade women. He humiliate men and degrade women. He's not about children at all. His page speaks of nothing that's for the people, for God, for real, nothing. He don't deal with his own son, which is
not who is this horse, Mary White.
2 years ago, it was about $10,000, and I hope he heard this. I actually talked to Marquise. We spoke in the DM, and I told him that anytime you get fucked up, you get hungry, any of this shit, or your mom, I ain't never gonna tell a motherfucker what I do for a motherfucker in private. Who is 50 fucking Cent?
The nigga that's gonna come for you and do a documentary about you if you don't shut up. Okay. Tokyo Tony, won't you just crying because you had a roommate who broke into your place and stole your furniture and stuff like that, and you were crying about how you gonna pay your bills and how you gonna pay your rent and where you was gonna stay now since all your furniture and stuff was gone. So now you out here helping people when you barely got a place to stay. Girl, shut up.
And all you've been doing is eating off the people pain. That's what he does. He keep controversy and conflict going. He is a warlock. It takes a warlock to them to know a warlock. He's calling people, warlocks and this and that. And I got the video and I got this and I paid this person and I paid that person. Come on. You cannot get this high. You cannot get this high. This man that went to ABC and you a fucking rapper, a gangster rapper. This man ain't pulling up his community. This nigga ain't no Nipsey Hussle. This nigga is flagrant, bro. 50 Cent. Let's give him.
Girl, you done dug your grave, because I'm trying to tell you, I know 50 Cent is going to respond, and you done brought up his son too. Again, he don't have a relationship with his son. It's been tumultuous since day one. His son looks exactly like him, which is so sad. Like, how you not have a relationship with your twin? This boy looks exactly like 50 Cent. But I really hope people just stay out of the situation. There's nothing that can be done. The documentary is out now. Of course, there are going to be people who like it and people who don't. But when you start to capping and clapping back at 50 Cent, which you guys know he is a responder, his response is always a very low under the belt type of response, to where he will destroy you. And I don't know what happened in his life or his childhood that just makes him just go straight gutter or jugular on a person whenever they come for him. Like, he is still on demon time when it comes to Diddy. He's still saying, and I'm going to show y'all in a second, that he still has clips that were not, that there was no room on the documentary to show. So he's just going to release them on social media. So he is just determined to continue to air out Diddy. Like, he just has this disdain for him in a way that I don't even have a word for it. It's just like he has gone hella nuclear on Diddy. And he's like, yeah, I'm not done releasing things. Like, I had no space on the documentary because it would only fit for a four-part series. So now all the other clips and footage that I have, I'm just going to release it so that people can see that, you know, what I could not release on the documentary. And I'm going to be watching that shit too. But Tokyo Tony, please sit down. See, you should be somewhere at a dentist office and getting a tooth plug right there where my mouth is. See, go get a tooth. There's plenty of things that you can do, child. It's plenty of things that you can do. All right. Get some different lashes because those are too big, but definitely go to the dentist. Like, they got veneers and all that shit now. Okay. They have Porsha, they have dentures. Girl, you just see, you worry about 50 Cent. We need to be worrying about that damn gap. All right, you and Krishan, and go pick Krishan up on your way there so she can get her shit fixed too. Because I'm sick of y'all snaggletooth, loudmouth ass heifers that's popping up on the internet that always have something to say when you know you're gonna get your damn bangs toe out as soon as 50 Cent see this damn video. And I'll be right here applauding it when he does. All right, moving right along. Yeah, she be doing too much. So 50 Cent, yeah, he gonna tear all her damn, he gonna tear a whole blonde wig off her head. All right, so 50 Cent says, let's go ahead and put it up. Child. This is my kind of carrying on. I love a little mess. All right, it takes that. It takes a little mess to get your day going. But 50 Cent says that he may go ahead and release the additional footage from Diddy's docuseries that mentions Diddy having a child with Tupac's ex. All right, he said that I'll just put it on YouTube. Shit. He don't really care about, I guess, getting paid for it. So he's just gonna put it on YouTube just for the sake of exposing it. Because y'all know Diddy was sleeping with all of his arch enemies' girlfriends because that was his get back. And he made sure to have children with them as well. So this was Tupac's ex-girl, which is Sarah, which he has a daughter named Chance. So he definitely was messing with Sarah because he could not stand Tupac, impregnated her, and then several other people as well. Diddy is a whole hot ass mess. Okay, but let's go ahead and get into what 50 had to say.
50, the way you run, this cannot be all that you have. Is there other stuff that you just have not shown?
Yeah, well, everything couldn't make the. Was 4 episodes,
right?
So it was a lot. You had to pick and choose things. Like even in an area where he chooses to date people who he knows previously dated someone. He has a baby by a woman that was dating Tupac.
Wow.
To add to it, but we had to cut it down so he could.
For time. So are you coming out? I know next year is going to be a number 2, season 2.
I just put it on YouTube.
I just put it on YouTube. Well, we can subscribe and get it. I love it. And 50, the way you run, this cannot be all that you.
So this is Sarah. This is Sarah Chapman. And again, she's the one who had the daughter named Chance with Diddy. But yeah, she dated Tupac for some years before she started messing with Diddy. And it was said that Diddy was also having FOs with her as well. Okay, I think Gene Deal talked about that as well, that he was again standing at the door while Diddy was in the room with Sarah and several other guys in there. So it sounds like most of the girls that he's ever been with, including Kim Porter, there were FOs done on these women. So I don't think he ever loved these women. I think it was the control, and he enjoyed maybe pleasuring himself by watching the women that he said that he loved and or were dating be with other men, which I think is the sickest shit ever. But because who would want to see someone that you're with be pleased by someone else and you standing there and watching or recording? But yeah, it was he was trying to get back at Tupac because Tupac was definitely always taking digs at him. So what better way to do that than to get with a person who Tupac saw as at the time the love of his life. Okay. But y'all know Tupac kept women around, so hey, you love them and you leave them, child. That's probably how he saw it. Like it probably did sting a little bit, but Tupac had plenty of women. He dated Kadada Jones, which was Quincy Jones' daughter. She was just as beautiful. Not to compare women, but she was beautiful, if not more beautiful than Sarah Chapman. So he kept some bad girls around, I tell you that. But those are some of the pictures of Sarah and Tupac. It was something always about his eyes. I always said Tupac. It was always something about his eyes that kind of drew you into him. All right, which is probably what helped him get the women. He could look at them a certain way with those eyes, and they'd be like, "Okay, come on, let's go back here to the back." Okay, but yeah. So there she is, the little girl. Okay, so that's her. She's obviously smart. She's graduated college. She's doing her thing. She's more on the business side, whereas the Combs girls, all they want to do is be on Instagram all damn day taking pictures. But she's decided, hey, I'm going to college to get me an education instead of trying to ride off of my dad's money. She's trying to get her own. And I respect that, okay? I love to see rich kids not sit back and rely on their parents to just hand them $1 or give them some type of inheritance. They're going to go to college and get their own education. They have their own brain and their own, career about themselves. So shout out to Chance for doing that, if anything. All right. Yeah, ain't none of the Combs boys went to college, okay? None of the Combs twins, they ain't go either. Okay, because they're relying on daddy to pass a good coin on down to them while they just be Instagram models, which that does pay as well. But, eventually that shit is going to air out after a while. But, there they go. Okay, so that's Sarah, that's Chance, and that's Satan, child. But shout out to Neighborhood Talk. Let's move on. Okay, so the guy, Clayton, his name is Clayton Howard, who is currently trying to sue Cassie. They're saying that Cassie is currently MIA. No one can find her. And she's probably that way now because of this Diddy situation. She's hiding out. Probably because she doesn't want Diddy and his imps to be able to find her, because she did cooperate fully with the feds and also with the trial. So she's not outside like she used to be, because it's kind of dangerous. People are still upset in terms of how she cooperated and told on Diddy in that trial and got his ass sitting in jail. Well, this person here on my screen, Clayton Howard, who was one of the main guys, who was the escort, who was also sleeping with and having FOs with Cassie and with Diddy, and he was there very frequently. He was the one that they called the most because they're saying that Cassie enjoyed him more so over the other guys that they had the FOs with. So they're saying that Diddy and Cassie's former male escort, Clayton Howard, calls Cassie a CUM dumpster, okay, if you will. So pretty much he's trying to call her HOE, but so are you, because you already knew what this situation was. You were a whole escort. So what do you think that is? And then for him to be suing Cassie, saying, oh, you gave me an STD. That is in the line of work that you're doing, unless you use protection every single solitary time that you're sleeping with these people. If you're kissing them, it's a possibility that you can catch something as well, like herpes or whatever. That stuff is transferred through saliva and through bodily fluids. But if you're out here being an escort, there's no telling what you called, and you don't know who you called it from. Are you sure that Cassie gave it to you? Just because you sleep with her frequently, if you had other partners as well, then this lawsuit may not get you a coin, which is what I think he's seeking, because now he knows who he's dealing with. In the beginning, he was like, I didn't even know who they were. I'm not sure why you didn't know who Cassie and Diddy was, but at the end of the day, he is suing Cassie for a few millions of dollars because he's saying that she gave him herpes, in terms of some other things as well. But he could not find her, or they could not locate her to serve her. So he went through the courts to unofficially have her served so that their case will go forward in court. So let's get into what he had to say, because he spoke very negatively about Cassie. But I feel like you're just as guilty as she was, because you agreed each time to meet up and do all of the egregious things that you guys were doing. Let's get into it.
Read the letter that she wrote to the judge.
I heard parts of her letter, to tell you the truth, and people was like, oh, you should read her letter. But reading her letter and hearing the parts, I'm saying, excuse me, because I didn't read it, but hearing the parts I heard about her being still having nightmares, and all of this, and all of the little few things I say, because I can't even say all of this, that's an expression. I heard a few things, like she said she was having nightmares, and the trauma that was impacted on her life, she's going to feel it for years. But the truth of the matter is, she made the decision to undergo that trauma. I wasn't aware of the true nature of the situation. Daniel Phillip, he wasn't aware of what was really going on. Jules Theodore, he didn't know about me or Daniel Phillip. The Punisher didn't know about me, Daniel Phillip, or Jules Theodore, but you know who knew about everybody in that situation? Cassie. Because Cassie was letting all of us run up in her. Some of us run up in her raw, lying to us, making us think that she was only sleeping with us and she was actually taking care of herself. When the truth is, she was just a cum dumpster. And I don't want to be rude and mean by saying that, but any woman who would just randomly let strange men she's attracted to orgasm inside of her is a cum dumpster. That's what she was. And she was lying to myself and dozens of other men while she was a cum dumpster for Diddy, and she could have possibly put my life in danger. So I totally think she should be criminally liable.
Let's stop there. What do you guys think about that? I'm gonna be honest with you. This is the risk that you take, sir, when you take on jobs such as this. All right. How do you let another grown man tell you no? We don't want you to use protection, because that's what they were saying. That is, of course, in the trial as well, that Diddy would tell them, no, I don't want you to use protection. I want you to be, I guess, raw when you guys perform. And he chose not to do so. So I would have said, no, I prefer to use protection just, for my own protection. But he chose not to use protection at the direction of Diddy. And it's none of your business if she's seeing someone else. Like, I don't think that anytime you're an escort, you ask for a list of people that said person that you're going to see and or interact with that they've been with ever in life. I don't think that they're writing down a list of people that they slept with prior to you. You're going there, you're getting paid to do an act, and you get your money and you perform and you get the fuck out of there. So for you to walk down everybody that Cassie's ever been with, what about you? It's given that you're trying to make her look like she's this crazy, freakish person, but so are you, because you were called several times to come over and sleep with her and do very egregious things at the direction of Diddy. So it just boils me how men always try to have this damn double standard when it comes to women. If a woman decides to sleep with more than one man at a time or be extra freaky in the bedroom, all of a sudden she's the HOE. But when it comes to a man, he's just being a man. Absolutely not. I don't feel like you can go and sue this girl for something that you say you caught when you are in the line of being an escort. That means that you sleep with multiple people for a living. So at any point in time, anyone could have infected you. I feel like you saw a money grab. I think you've been sitting back and studying this situation and you know who you're dealing with. You watched Cassie just get $10 million. You watched her get another $5 or so million from the whole hotel surveillance footage tape that she was able to get money from as well. In terms of other things, Cassie is sitting on a mound of money, we hear. Also where she got the check from Diddy, where he settled with her. So Clayton Howard, this guy on my screen, he has studied this situation and he saw a money grab. And I feel like this lawsuit is going to go nowhere and you're not going to get a fucking dime because you put yourself in a situation that you chose to be in. You could have said at any time, hey, when Diddy and them call, you say, hey, we need an escort for the night. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing that anymore because I don't feel safe. But no, as long as the money was coming in, and it was all about money. So you chose money over your health. You chose money, whatever they were paying you. I know they were saying $5,000, $10,000 at a time, depending on what you chose to do. And you were doing everything according to you in other interviews that I've seen. So you weren't thinking about your health and catching anything. I feel like you're trying to do that now because your money source have run out. As long as you were getting this steady income where Diddy was calling you every 2 weeks, according to him, he said every 2 weeks Diddy was calling him. So imagine every 2 weeks, you know you're going to get $5,000 to $10,000 and then it abruptly stopped. So now you're thinking, how can I get my hands on some more money because your lifestyle's changed? Of course, if you're getting $5,000, $10,000 every 2 weeks, you're going to start living differently. You're going to eat different. You're going to travel. You're probably purchasing things that you've never purchased a day in your life because you have this steady income coming in from this source of two rich people who are celebrities and has a steady stream of unlimited money. So you were happy to do those things. And now that that money's run out, you run and file a lawsuit when you agreed to be Cassie's HOE. Because that's what we can say since you want to turn it around on her. Now, I don't agree that Cassie should have been doing the things that she was doing, but it's her body as a woman. If she chose to allow a man to do that, or if it was by force, I definitely got a side I did it because how the fuck can you treat a woman that way when you have daughters? Suppose someone FO or traffic your daughters, because that's what I see it as. We got to look at it both ways. So it's disrespectful, I feel, for him to sit on platforms, and he's doing videos and interviews everywhere, like literally talking down on Cassie like she's just the biggest thought on the earth. But you are too, sir. You were every 2 weeks over there with your ass tooted up as well, and you were probably getting rubbed down by Diddy too. So it's probably some things that you're not talking about because the money was so good, and you don't want to taint your reputation as well. But I don't think he's going to get a dime. Let's continue. And one more thing I had to show you guys. And then we're going to let's see. Okay. Well, I already told you guys that Cassie has gone AWOL, and this guy here, Clayton Howard, he finally got the judge's approval to serve a freak off lawsuit by alternative means. So they're trying to find Cassie to have her served. She will have to show up in a court of law in order to fight this. And I don't know how he's going to be able to prove that she's the person who infected him. I just don't. Because like I said, if you're in that line of work, it's definitely understood that if you are going in there raw dogging, baby, you gonna definitely catch something. Again, this is 2025. I don't understand how people nowadays are still out here doing things like that unprotected, sleeping with random people, pulling people up on the internet and going to hotels and laying up unprotected. That shit is wild. So yeah, you pose a risk of catching something, and when you do, don't be running to the courts asking them to intervene when you put yourself in that situation. I mean, right? But it said the Cassie Ventura faced new legal setback after a judge ruled that she was evading service in Clayton Howard's freak-off lawsuit. It goes on to say that Cassie Ventura is now officially considered unreachable by the federal court after a judge ruled that she had been evading service in a freak-off lawsuit filed by Clayton Howard, clearing the way for him to serve her through alternative means. So it looks like it may be a trial of some sort. He's, like I said, been sitting back watching her get all of this money, millions of dollars. And he wants in on that. Okay. So now he's trying to make her this victim when I feel like he had feelings for her. He was also trying to say that during their freak off sessions of being unprotected, that he got her pregnant and she went and had an AB unbeknownst to him. That's not been proven yet. Nobody knows her, medical records in terms of if that ever happened. So I don't know. I don't know how he knew that she was ever pregnant. So if she got rid of it and never told you, how do you know that there was ever a baby? That's my thing. You got to be able to prove that as well. But Judge Ann Huang issued an order granting Howard's request after months of failed attempts to physically locate or directly notify Cassie about the civil claims tied to his allegations of being trafficked or for freak-offs with Diddy. You were not trafficked. You were contacted every 2 weeks, and you as a grown-ass man agreed because you wanted the money. So we're not about to do that. I don't believe he was trafficked. I believe you showed up and you did what you wanted to do for this money. Okay. I don't think Diddy pulled a pow on you and said, show up here or else. I don't think it was that. You were one of the favorites because you were willing to go as far as they were asking you to go in the bedroom. And that's what it was said on several interviews, as well as in the court case with Diddy and Cassie and everyone else. So the ruling came after Howard demonstrated what the court called reasonable diligence, detailing 9 failed service attempts at 3 addresses in New York and Connecticut, as well as outreach to her lawyer, Douglas Whitger of Whitger LLP, which responded but declined to accept service. So she definitely hiding out. I don't blame her. She's like, nigga, you're not about to get not one red cent. All right. So the order noted that investigators used databases, DMV searches, property searches, field visits, and skip tracing, yet still face to confirm a current verifiable address for Cassie. They may have her in some type of secret service, like type housing, being that she did say that she was afraid for her life, that someone probably would try to take her out, being that she did cooperate and testify against Diddy. So they're not going to give you her location. That's probably why you can't find her. Usually when a person is in protective custody, you're not going to find them. You can do any type of search you want to, but if they're under some type of protective custody, you will not find them. So this shit is so crazy. With no physical location confirmed, the judge agreed that alternative service was the only practical option and authorized Howard to send a summons and or complaint and or an order by email to Whitger and attorney Meredith Firetug with instruction to forward the documents. Yeah, if I was Cassie's attorney, I don't know if I was the SEX worker who participated in the so-called freak-offs. His allegations included claims that Diddy and Cassie not only orchestrated the sessions but imposed disturbing rituals. Wow. Now, said the Howard said that Cassie used to collect his semen in a cup, describing how the couple liked to see their or see her play with it and drink it. Yuck. And a detail that became one of the most viral moments on the documentary. If you guys did not watch it, then yeah, that's also in there. I forgot about that as well. Cassie, I'm ready to throw up now, sis. Now Howard accused Cassie of actively participating in events, claiming that she coordinated, coached, and engaged in acts that he says left him traumatized for years. Really? You were traumatized, but you came back every 2 weeks. Okay. I think the courts are going to say that as well. You were traumatized, but you came back 4 weeks and even flew out to Miami. That says that every year on Biggie's birthday, that they would fly him out to Miami for a whole entire, I think, weekend, the weekend of Biggie's birthday, and they would have sexual freak offs and rituals and all these types. And he was there, and he got paid very well. So why you didn't complain back then? Why are we just hearing about this now? Weird. So allegations form the core of the civil complaint, which Cassie has not answered because she has not yet been served. With this ruling, Howard can finally push the case forward, eliminating the procedural delay that has stalled progress since August of 2025. It goes on to say that Cassie Ventura must now face Clayton Howard's freak-off lawsuit head on after a judge ruled that she can be served by alternative means. All right. What do y'all think about that? We're going to have to see how this pans out. I hope she doesn't have to pay him because I feel like the two of them participated in something they wanted to participate in. All right. He's a grown-ass man. You did not have to pick up the phone. When you saw Diddy's call come up on the caller ID, you could have maybe blocked his call or maybe not answered and did not show up. But each time he called, it gives that you showed up to get said money. They said as soon as he got to the door, Cassie paid him whatever money was agreed, and he came in and performed whatever act that they agreed they were going to do. So it gives that you were definitely in it for the money, and now that the money has run out and you're not doing these freak offs anymore, you're looking for another source of income and you're trying to get some back pay is what it looks like. But you guys can put in there what y'all think. You say I might have got to stop eating. Girl, yeah, I about threw up when I read that. Oh my God, because I literally forgot about that on the documentary. But let's get out of here, guys. Shout out to the 176 watching. Please don't forget to tap on that like button. Car Chronicles is in the morning per usual. Please keep your notifications on so you guys will know when we go live. Usually 9:30, 9:40-ish is when we go live for Car Chronicles in the morning, okay? But thank you guys for being here. Y'all have a wonderful night. Happy hump day to everyone. Tomorrow is Friday Eve. Thank you, Jesus, okay? So thank you so much to my top flight mods, True TV Podcast Tower, KBR, Sweet Essence, Scorpion Miss, and Rose Armstead. Thank y'all for doing an awesome job. Thank you so much, Miss Didi. I see you in the building, ma'am. Jonetta Speaks, Simple Mom Family TV, JCD Creations, Shay P, Shay Renee, Queen Speaks TV, and any other content creator that may have stopped by that I may have missed. Thank you guys all for being here. All of my Caramelians. Love you guys down. Let's take the trigger warning down because we don't need it. All right, let's get back to my screen here. You guys have a wonderful night. We're going to get out of here. Until the next one, bye.